WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. Today I have a Benriach single cask. I taste rare and exotic whiskeys. Single casks are always rare and exotic. There is 258 of these, and I have the bottle number 164. This is cask number 8640. So this was actually distilled on the... I have to think about this for a second. Is it on? Let's take a look here once again. They do their dates always a little bit different. We have here the... Yep. All right, good. So we're going to do that. So they was distilled on the the 1st of December 2016, and it was actually filled on the 14th of February 2018. Single cask, I love it. There's a date stamp on the back here. This was a whiskey.de, you know it as .com, whiskey.com.de exclusive for the 25th anniversary back then. So this is 11 years old. This was actually a Moscatel Hogshead. So 99 euros is what I paid for it. Maybe originally it was only 80 euros, but that's life. Whiskybase number 115005, 61.5%. Wow. So BenRiach is a very, very interesting distillery. So it has a long history and long tradition, but we know it because of one man, Billy Walker. He sold the Glendronach, the Glasgow, as well as the BenRiach to Brown Forman, and now they have a major foothold in the Scottish industry, especially with single malt. And then he later on went to buy the Glenallachie distillery. So this is actually, it says here, the BenRiach, not just a BenRiach, the BenRiach, from the heart of Speyside. And this is distilled and bottled in Scotland. Very, very nice. So you can see here, let's see here, 1898, if you can see that. Yep, the date of the distillery. According to my nice little book that I like to read from every once in a while, the Malt Whiskey Yearbook, it's really interesting. A guy over in Sweden makes this every year, or revises this. Interesting, one of the best books out there if you want to know anything about Scotch. It says, even though BenRiach was opened more than 120 years ago, it took until 2004 until the single malt was recognized by whiskey drinkers. Admittedly, the first single malt appeared in 1994, but it was soon forgotten. It was Billy Walker who took over the distillery in 2004, who realized the distillery's real potential. One of the benefits he discovered was that the distillery has been producing small volumes of peated whiskey since 1972, an unusual practice for a Speyside distillery in the 20th century. The fact that whiskey stock going back 40 years was included in the takeover finally convinced Walker that the deal was a very, very rare opportunity. So BenRiach can do can do double distilled, triple distilled, and peated whiskey. That's very, very seldom in the Scottish whiskey world. All right, so according to my tasting notes here, it says, first of all, color is barley gold. I agree. There's a little bit of a peach moment going on there. So honey, roasted hazelnuts, fudge, and ripe dates. What I get is roasted almonds and figs. All right. So I'm not really sure. The Moscatel is a great wine, and those barrels are used time and time again to really influence the cask style here. I'm not sure if that was a very, very active Moscatel hogshead here. Hogshead is usually when you take, it's a bigger size. You have a 200 liter, 50 gallon, and then you have a little bit bigger 250 liter cask or container. All right, I'm going to try it just with a little bit without the water here. Let's get the symmetry going on here. Hot. 61.5%. I have a lot of respect. Over here in the bourbon department, here we have the Scotch, here we have the Irish, here we have the bourbons. 60% for bourbon is like, that's great. And Scotch, it can be a lot hotter, especially if it's not that old, like this 11 years old. So what I like to do, Julia Nonnet, she's called the nose in the spirits industry. She goes and helps a lot of different distilleries, Corsair, different places, also Clonakilty, for example, in Ireland, and many, many places all over Europe. She's in the world. She helps different people produce better spirits, and she's got that wonderful, wonderful palate. And she says, Jason, take a little bit of water. Swish around and leave a little bit here. And then you can dilute the whiskey like you need it. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Very, very nice. Now I'm getting a lot more of that aroma, that flavor here. It says, taste meringue, caramel, toasted hazelnuts. I get the almonds. And whipped cream. I'm not really sure about that whipped cream there. I'm missing the fruitiness I'm getting from the Moscatel. There's like gooseberries. There's a little bit of a plum. There's a little bit of the figs in there. There's a lot going on in there. That's very, very nice. The problem is the alcohol at the cask strength is just way too strong for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dilute it down to around 48, 50%. All right, very scientific. And see what actually happens now. I love this. This is a great, long-lasting, a long finish, a mouth coating type of feel. This is very, very nice. Is it worth the money? Let's see. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Nice. Ralphie says you have to play around with the whiskey a little bit before you get to know it. Down below the shoulder is where you really get to have a feel for that whiskey. This is the second time for me trying it, actually. I played around with it in my German video, now I'm playing around with my English video, got exactly where I wanted it. I diluted it down once to about 40%. It was missing a little bit of that kick, that pepper, that little bit of alcohol you need there. Going up above 50, it's like, a little bit too much of the alcohol is present. But down below 50, around 48%, this turns into a beautiful, beautiful flower that just blossoms. You do get that nice toasted almond. You get a great fig. You get a little bit of the gooseberry in there. You get a depth in there as well with a little bit of a vanilla toasted moment. You have a little bit of a movement towards the graham cracker. This is very, very nice. B minus, yay. Now, value for money, is it really worth €100, $120? Well, maybe. I'm going to give it a solid C. I think it originally came out, as I said, for like €79, and that for cask strength would have been fantastic. If you gave this to me as a 48% ABV, €50 whiskey, I went, wow, great job, guys. But that's not what they wanted. Whiskey DE actually for the 25th anniversary had dozens of different bottlings they had, and they sold to the German market mainly. And this was one of them, and of course they wanted to have cask strength, single barrel, non-chill filtered, no color added, the pure whiskey from the cask. If you need water, add it yourself. I need the water, I have to add it myself. But this is a fabulous, fabulous whiskey. I like Benriach. I like the Moscatel finish. I like the bottle. I'm very happy that I got one of the 258 bottles that actually were out there. So, therefore, it's a solid C for the value for money. Cheaper is always better, but it's actually a B minus here for my value for money. My question of the day is, what is your favorite BenRiach? There's a BenRiach out there with virgin oak. I think it's 10 or 8 years old. That was fantastic. There's a 19-year-old BenRiach, single cask I've had. Oh, to die for. There's so many great BenRiachs out there that are not part of the core range. There's a lot of single cask bottlings out there that you can just enjoy. And that's really a little bit for me the secret of BenRiach. It's a little bit like Johnny Depp. I have a problem sometimes recognizing him in the one film and the next film and the next film. It's like, is that Johnny Depp? Yeah, of course it is. Like, really? I didn't realize him. He's able to transition and able to change his facial characteristics as well as his clothing and appearance a lot, and that's what happens here to BenRiach. You can have the rum finish, you can have the sherry finish, you can have the Moscatel finish, you can have the virgin oak, you can have all these different types of finishes out there, and it actually changes the whiskey a little bit. And BenRiach has a great distillery character that really just complements those wood finishes, I think, in my personal opinion. All right, so what is your favorite BenRiach? Please write it down in the comments. My whiskey reviews come out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, usually. And I hope to see you back here for more whiskey reviews. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and tell others. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.